That's to the spice of it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first Predator One Pool 10 Ball Championship Final sponsored by Predator Cubes. I'm Tony Robles, and I'm joined by Luis Gabriel Arias Mendez and Margaret Fefilova to bring you the spectacular final, which is sure to be a great match between two of the top titans of the game today. Luis and I will be providing commentary for you today, and Margaret is the official referee for the match. But before we introduce the players, Luis, what do you think about this exciting format leading up to the final day, buddy?
Hi, Tony. Well, I believe one pool is a very exciting format. I believe that one pool provides us the quality to have a great tournament like this. I mean, we've had 32 of the best players in the world, but I also believe one pool gives the players all around the world the possibility of playing in a very competitive format. So I love it. I think we've had a great tournament. We have one of the best players in the world, and I think it's going to be a tough match.
I agree 100%, Louis. This has been quite the week, and I've enjoyed every single match. And I think that this time we would like to give special thanks to Karim and Philippe and the Predator Group team of Predator Qs and One Sports TV, Alberto Garcia Ramos, David Acaide, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, Medium, and the rest of their staff for making all of this possible. It's been a tremendous week, and everyone has enjoyed this. And now for the match. I'm going to introduce the players. First off, we have Fedor GORST, who is currently ranked number 4 in the WPA World Rankings. He's also the 2017 World Junior Champion, the 2018 European Champion, and the 2019 and current World 9-Ball Champion, which is quite an incredible list there for someone so young. Same thing here for Eklent KAÇI. He's a former number 1 ranked player in the world. He's an 18-time national champion. I mean, for someone to win the championship just once, that in itself is an achievement. He's done it 18 times, so that says a lot there. He's also the 2018 American 14.1 straight pool champion, and I believe he won it the first time he played in it. And I witnessed this when he won. He was a 2-time World Pool Series champion, and I got to see both wins, and he played tremendous. So these two players have a tremendous resume, and I'm sure that we're excited to watch a wonderful match. Good luck to you both, gentlemen. And I know that Clenty, you're going to call the toss, and you said hedge. Is that correct? Okay. Good luck, players.
Good luck, Clenty.
You too.
You got tails.
All right. So I'm breaking, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I know a lot of you have been watching all of the matches all week long and supporting this, and we really appreciate your support and feedback. And we've had quite a number of very exciting matches, and I don't think this one's going to be any different than all of the other matches. What do you think, Luis?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I'm watching the whole tournament. How's been? Fedor won 2-0 against Kelly Fisher. Then he won 2 sets to 0 against Victor Del Alamo. Then he beat Naoki Oi 2-0 again, and then Tyler Steyer 2-0. So Fedor hasn't set in the entire tournament. In the other end, we have KAÇI lost 1 set and it's great. So I think it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, he just scratched there, so he gets 0 for that. So now it's Clenty's turn to break. So kind of a rough start there, but you know, unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. You either get kicked in or you mishit the ball. And that's what's so incredible about the break, Luis. Sometimes if you actually broke and try to scratch on purpose, you couldn't do it, you know?
Yes, no, for sure. I think yesterday we saw Tyler Steyer, that has one of the best timber breaks in the world, get the cue ball like 5 kicks. It got hit like 5 times and it almost catch. So it's very tough.
Now, Kachi, I watched part of his match against Damianos, and I mean, he broke like an absolute monster
Yes.
yesterday, and was almost always stopping that cue ball dead in the center of the table.
Yes, I mean he's been breaking great, Kachi, not only making 1 or 2 balls from the break, but perfect cue ball control in the center, getting a perfect position for the 1 and an easy shot on the 2. So probably one of the 3 best breaks in the tournament so far. I mean, it's been amazing.
So over here, he has a decision to make. You know, I know that you've been dreaming of a superset, right?
Yeah.
We all have, and he has a decision to make over here.
I think it's over the 8, right? He needs to shoot. Okay.
I mean, he obviously feels comfortable if he's taking the shot from there. So, is that the 2 ball by the bottom rail near the 10?
Oh.
Oh, look at that! The cue ball straightened out there.
Yes. He got like.
But yeah, he was trying to straighten it out.
Yes.
What were you saying, Luis?
He got like 3 rails. It was like a 3 cushion shot. I mean, when he made the 1, the cue ball went like touched right rail like 3 times and went downwards to the table.
So yeah, I think he can definitely avoid the scratch here. Just has to be careful with that 8 ball. Once he comes off that 2 ball, he might be able to have just enough angle to go right in between the 8 and the side pocket. Yep, he sure did. Wow, nice. You know why he got rewarded there? Because of the speed he hit that shot with. Wow.
3 points.
Yes. So a rough start for both players, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a little strange start. It seems like most players end up with having to shoot over. I'm assuming he has to shoot over the ball. If he can hit, you know, the side of the ball, then that's better yet.
Yes, but probably Fedor here has an easier position for the 2 because Kachi needed to play above the 8, but the 2 ball was down on the table. So this is a tough shot, but probably a little bit easier position on the 2. Right? So probably the tougher shot is going to be the 8, right?
Yeah, that one's going to be a little tricky, but Fedor has such great cue ball control. But the 8 is going to be a little tricky. But the 7 is in a spot where, you know, it's pretty easy as long as you end up with an angle, even if it's just a small angle, to go across the table for the 8 ball. Okay. Right here, I think you want to go 2 rails and then out to the center of the table. Now, this is a tricky shot that people ask me about all the time. But, you know, again, this is a shot that you have to practice, you know. Stopping the cue ball there is great, and then just coming 1 rail. But the tricky part here is to learn how to shoot this shot so that you never go close to that long rail. You always want to come short of that long rail by about a foot, worst case scenario, half a foot. So that way you make sure that you end up with an angle. And, you know, the problem with this shot is a lot of times players underhit it. So if anything, you want to overhit it a bit just to make sure you at least have a decent shot at the 7.
So I think probably he's going to forward the 7, right? 2 cushions and get a angle on the 8, or you think he's going to draw it and go to the left side of the table?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had very little angle there. I honestly thought he was going to go 3 rails with a lot of spin on that one, but
Yeah, I
um,
thought
he still has a good shot here. I mean, it's not an easy shot, but like I said, these elite players, they work so hard on their game that, you know, most people that struggle with this shot, they make it look easy because they're just practicing everything every day, you know?
yes. The other, I had the honor of interviewing him the other day, and he trains like 5 or 8 hours a day, so it's
I
amazing.
believe it.
So,
Okay, he stayed down on that shot. He didn't jump up, so he gets 7 for that.
yes.
So
So
now
now,
it's Kachi's turn.
yes. So you know, Tony, the bumperoni is getting famous. Your term. People are always asking during the matches of the friendly bumperoni.
Yeah, that's what I call it, man.
They love it. I mean, every time the cue ball gets like a little hit on landing on a special area or hitting a ball, people are
Hmm.
on the Facebook chat are like, "Oh, a friendly bumperoni."
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's better. It's better than an unfriendly bumperoni. You know. Uh-oh.
So
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so Fedor, it's your break.
very unlucky.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like the cue ball stopped in pocket, and that ball that always goes 4 rails came around and just knocked it in.
That's the thing about the break on 10 ball. Even if you have great cue ball control, you're gonna have a lot of balls going down and up the table. And it's easy to get a lot of kicks. I mean, it's tough. You can get a scratch.
And this kid's break is like phenomenal too. I mean, he has some of the best control I've seen on the break.
And he's
Now you
very
notice he wound up with a similar shot on the wall on the
yeah.
one ball as he did the previous rack. So over here, I think it is kind of beneficial that he has a lot of angle here because you don't want to get too straight on the 3 because I mean on the 2 ball because he's probably going to want to shoot the 2 ball to go 3 rails to end up getting on the 3. The tricky part here is going to end up being going from the 3 to the 5. That's going to be the tricky part.
So probably
He's
he
going
needs
to
to
go
have
ahead.
the cue ball right there, right? I mean, the cue ball where it is, it's like
Hmm.
similar position that he needs when he's gonna go to the 5.
That's correct. And he's going to have a choice, go back and forth and end up with a 5 with in the same pocket as a 2. Or draw in between everything, which is, you know, you have to have really good control for that to be able to play the 5 in the same pocket as a 3, which is a lot tougher. But either way, if you get straight on the 5 on either pocket, you don't have to do anything special. You could just shoot a stop shot or roll up a bit, depending where you're shooting it, which pocket you're shooting it to end up with a shot in the 6 in the side.
Yes, I
But I
think
think this is,
5 on the same pocket than the 2. I would try
mhm,
to get in position on the
yep.
cue ball where he started the rack.
With the other option is he can shoot the 3 and stop the cue ball by the center of the table and take a tougher shot on the 5, you know?
Okay. One of the things that I love about Federer is not only he has very strong fundamentals, Tony, but he always looked at the shots from different angles. I mean, he's watching every angle of the ball. He takes his time. I mean, he's an example of how players should play. I mean, he has a lot of discipline, pre-shot routine, getting down on the shot. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, and that is just that's one of the biggest key elements to becoming an elite player. See? So he did decide to leave it by the center of the table, right? Take the slightly tougher shot, which was very smart because at least he guarantees himself a shot at the cheese. The cheese means the
Yes.
money, right?
And he calls it like that. I mean, he's watched matches from other players on Facebook, and he's wrote, "I'm winning the cheese." So it's funny that you say it.
So here you have to go to rails and stop, go past between the 5, I mean the 6 and the 9. So that's 5 points better.
That's the
And
same
he has 12 to Kachi's 3.
I was saying that that's the same pocket we missed the 8 with a thin cut.
Yeah, the 8 ball, he I think he overcut, and that one he undercut. So I don't know if he was trying to, change it up a bit, make the aiming adjustment. The 8 was frozen to the rail though when he shot it. Wow, almost got kicked again. That's crazy. Right, so he elected to take the ball in hand, which I don't blame him. The cue ball wound up in the top rail, so he's playing for 10 points here.
That's smart. I mean, he needs to ensure making 10 points and keeping the pressure on Fedor, because I think I've had a rough start.
Yeah, they're getting like kind of like funny layouts, or the cue ball's getting kicked around. It's amazing what a difference a day makes, right?
Yeah, for sure, it's a final. I mean, they're feeling the pressure. It's different to play a semifinal. They play in the final.
Yeah, he has a very nice angle here to get to the 3, and then the yeah, I mean the question is, when you shoot the 8, where do you shoot the 8?
I think I would shoot the 8 on the top right corner pocket, and I get a good angle, and then shoot the 9 on the side pocket.
Yeah, because it's too narrow of an angle. I think the 8 would need to be further out, and you can't afford to hit it that hard from that angle. So just got to come by the center of the table. He should be fine. Yep, hit it great.
Yes, it's perfect for a draw.
Then over here, he just hits it with a little spinneroni, left spin. Very nice. So Kachi gets 10 and takes the lead by 1 point by the score of 13-12.
We almost have, Tony, 600 views on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys. Remember, this is a Predator event. This is the One Pool Predator Challenge. We're playing the finals right now. It's been amazing, guys. Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, and thank you to Predator for sponsoring this event, and to One Sports TV. They've done a tremendous job, putting this together.
Yes, I believe we talked about it, Tony. One thing is being a sponsor on a regular basis. I mean, when the world is like in normal, but right now to have Predator sponsor this very big and special event means more, right? Because it's tough times.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they are the biggest sponsor in the industry when it comes to professional events, and I'm pretty sure that the players appreciate all that they've done for them. It's not easy. I've been running the Predator Pro-Am Tour for 12 years, and it is very tough work. Most people don't understand the amount of work that it entails unless they do it themselves.
Yes, that's 100% true, Tony.
So over here, he's got to get pretty good on the 5 ball. Probably going to draw it back to where it's about where it's at now.
Perfect.
Now, do you like going 2 rails and leaving the cue ball more or less where it's at now? Or do you like coming
Yeah.
short where you just cut the 6 ball and then just stun it over?
To make sure I don't get the cue ball close to the right cushion, and I think that I have a very big area in terms of angle for the 6. I'll go probably a little bit harder than that, but
Yeah.
2 cushions for sure.
Well, what I like about this shot is it doesn't require you to hit it hard in order to play position. You know, with the other way, if you end up with a little with not enough angle, you might have to slam it into the pocket in order to come off the cushion and come back. You know.
You're right.
Here, he had to hit it. He didn't have much of a choice there. He had too much angle. That's the tricky part, having to shoot over the ball.
So I don't know if you noticed, but when Federer breaks, he's getting the 10 ball on the left side pocket. The last 2 racks, he's leaving the 10 ball there. So,
I know it's interesting, right? Because the only way the 10 ball can go there with the magic rack is if it's kicked there.
yes, and it happened 2 times. I just realized, like, where's the 10 ball? And it's always on the left side, left side pocket.
Yeah, out of all the matches that I've seen so far this week, I only saw one player make the 10 ball on the break that got kicked in the side. That was Alvin Ocean. That was it. It's very tough to make that 10 on the side or on the break, period.
Yes, I saw Kapusky make the 10 on the break.
Yeah, and the important thing about this shot is you just got to focus on making the ball. Forget about where the cue ball goes. You're gonna end up with a shot on the 10 no matter what.
Yes.
So he's playing for 15 here.
Yes. And I think he needed it, right? Because he had a start.
Okay, so the score is now Federer 27 and Bernstein 13.
I believe he has a shot on the 1 in an easy position on the 2. Right?
Yeah, I can't tell if that's the 1 or the 9. I really can't tell the difference here. It looks a little blurry to me.
I think the 1 is the 1 on the top right corner pocket, like in
Top
front
right? Okay.
of that line, yes. And the 2
Yeah,
is
so
on,
he can definitely play for 15 here if that's the case. Very nice. His speed is just so awesome too. I mean, he shot a shot in his match yesterday. I believe it was against Albin, where man, he just hit that ball so good. Where no, I think it was against Damianos, and he hit the ball so good where he had to come within 1 inch past the side pocket. If he doesn't, he ends up going behind the ball, and he hit exactly there.
yeah, I believe, and I've said it, Kachi, it has a very special and unique positional play because he loves getting in small areas or small lines, landing lines for the next shot. And most of the time he does it perfectly. So probably that's why he has that confidence in terms of his choices. I mean,
And he plays very smart pool too, because you know that shot he shot on the 3, most players would have tried to go back and forth and risk running into the 5, where he said, no, I'm not going to do that because it's too close. Let me just take the longer shot and secure the table, secure the rack, you know?
yes.
But yeah, I agree. He has a great cue ball control.
Even on the break, I mean, I'm amazed watching his tournament. I mean, every time he breaks, he gets the cue ball in the center of the table. So it's amazing.
And now this is getting interesting here, Mr. Luis, because once he pockets the 9 and the 10, that's a total of 15 points. And now we have a 28-27 game in favor of Clenty.
Yes, for sure it's going to be a tough and tight net.
And there you have it. So Kachi takes the lead 28-27 over Gorst, and now it's Fedor's turn to break. I want to take this time to thank every single person for your support and for tuning in today to this awesome match. We have people from all over the world. There's so many people who are saying hi. I want to say hi back, over the mic, because it's nearly impossible for me to do commentary and reply to each and every single one of you. But I just want to let you know that every single one of you, we appreciate you very much. Look at that break.
No, and again, he has a perfect shot on the one on the same top right corner pocket, right?
Yep. He has the 1 and the 2 in the same, the 1, 2, and the 3 potentially in the same pocket, and then all he has to do is just come down here for the 4 and then go back up there to come down for the 9 ball. So he's in good shape here.
Perfect. So Tony,
That was a nice shot.
Sorry, I asked the one pool team before the match for some interesting stats, and you're gonna love this. So far, without this final, more than 800,000 views we have between all of the matches between the first round and the final. We've had more than 20,000 interactions with the viewers. So I believe those numbers are great, and probably we have the chance, counting this final, to get 1 million views between all of the matches of the tournament.
Wow, that's amazing. That is a very interesting fact. I love that. That's great. Wow. Hey, one of my great friends just tuned in, Steve Lipsky. For those of you who don't know Steve Lipsky, man, let me tell you, he's one of the greatest straight pool players and greatest talents I've ever seen. And I know a lot of you in this chat never heard of him, but he's a pleasure to watch, and I'm very proud to call him friend and brother. We get to play in the league a lot at Amsterdam in the straight pool league, and that straight pool is my passion. I think I told you that, Luis. It's my favorite game on the planet. So welcome, Steve. I appreciate you tuning in to catch the stream, buddy.
And Tony, one question: do players like go to you and say, "Hey, Tony, I want to get lessons for specifically for straight pool"?
Yeah, I mean, well, people come to me for position lessons, clusters, straight pool, 8 ball, 9 ball, but a lot of people in New York come to me for straight pool lessons.
Because you're world famous. I mean, you're a world famous player, but specifically in straight pool, you're like a reference. So probably people love getting lessons from you for only for straight pool, right?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I actually have a young kid that's coming from Philadelphia next week. I mean, on Thursday, I believe. He's coming to my house for a 2-hour lesson, and it's the first lesson that I'm going to give since the pandemic started. So I'm pretty excited.
For sure.
17-year-old kid.
Whoa.
So over here, do you like just sliding it over or going one rail towards the 9? It's a little tricky to tell because I don't know if he has too much angle, because if he does, he might have to go around.
I think he has too much angle and probably he's gonna go around. But if I didn't have so much angle, I would love to hit the cue ball low, a little tension line, get an angle on the 9, and I don't like the cue ball too much, but I think he has a lot of angle there.
Yep. So he got a little funny that he's going to have to either go 1 rail or 2 rails. It looks like he might be able to get by the 10 with a little bit of outside stun or stun draw, and then just hit the bottom rail and come back towards the other side of the 10.
So probably in that shot on the 6, Tony, the good thing is if you bump the 9, you have like other options, right? You can make the 9 on the side or on the top right corner pocket, and then that shot, moving the cue ball 3 rails, you have a lot of options.
Well, yeah, but what I do is when I teach people straight pull, that shot comes up a lot, and people ask me, "How would you hit this?" And I always tell them, you want to make sure that you hit it with enough speed so that if you run into the ball, the cue ball will keep itself separate or separate itself from the next ball that you're shooting. Because if you hit it too soft, you could potentially freeze on the ball, and you don't want to do that.
15 points.
15 points. So now Fedor takes the lead by the score of 42-28. Now it's Kaçi's turn. John Francisco, what's up, man? How's it going? And Mike Bads here, Raymond Linares, so many people tuning in. Like we're getting more people watching the stream. It's awesome.
Yes, we have almost 700 viewers only on Facebook. So I think as the match advances, we're gonna go above 1,000 people watching the match. So that's very exciting. Melvin Moreno, how are you? Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it was close, right?
I got up off my chair like, oh my God, it's gonna get behind the 8. But I think it's okay, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's definitely okay. It's just the way you reacted. You would think you're the one that shot that shot.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was strong. It had a lot of speed, and at the end, like the cube was stuck. So I thought, oh my God, he's gonna get behind the 8. Every time I watch a match, Tony, if I'm commenting or as a fan, I always imagine myself being the other player. I mean, and I'm like, I have the tension. I'm thinking, oh my God, like the mistake was mine. So I'm very excited always.
Here he needs to hit the cue ball draw and some left.
Yes.
Just that speed is so perfect. 8's a little tricky, but I think he'll manage there once he figures out how to get on the 7 over here. Oh, no. I thought that was a 7 there. So I see it's hard to tell the color of the balls here.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, if he can get the cue ball past the center of the table, I guess closer to the he doesn't even need to do that. He could just hit this with draw and draw the cue ball about 2 feet, shoot the 6 in the lower right hand pocket, and come across the table for the 8 because he wants just very little angle. The other option is to hit it with follow and go 2 rails, 1, 2 rails, and end up using the 10 so he can shoot the 6 with follow. Or you try to take it out. But like I said, if he ends up with an angle on the 6 ball, he can see here, if he's a little bit on the straight side, he might have to hit it with top left and go 2 rails, possibly 3 rails for the 8 ball. It all depends. If he has enough angle, he can draw past the 9 and then get on the other side. So it's a little tough to tell from this angle, but I think those are his 2 options here.
Yes, for sure. And do you think in the shot before he?
Yeah. 3 rails, 2 rails. All right, so I think he's not worried about the points. Over here, I think he just needs to roll it and with a little bit of right, center right to just straighten out the cue ball coming off the cushion.
Okay. So he needs to make sure, guys, he makes the 8. He's gonna get good position on the 9.
Yeah, the key here is just to focus on making the 8. He's gonna get position regardless. Even if he ends up dead straight on the 9 ball, he could always draw straight back for the 10. So you just roll it with center right, just to straighten up the cue ball a bit. Okay, so he decided to go with stun. So he obviously did not feel comfortable hitting it with, or just rolling it.
So I think some players, Tony, that kind of shot when you have a ball close into the rail, they feel more comfortable like hitting it with speed. So probably that's why he put it on, right? Because one thing is to hit the cue ball, let it go like soft, and the other thing is like make it and think about a different position.
Yeah, and I think he got a little straighter than what he would have liked over here. I think if he would have hit it with a little more speed to come off the second rail, like I told you, I always do. You always want to come off that second rail, hit it with enough speed, so that way you have access to the bottom of the cue ball. You have more options, remember? But over here, I think he's just gonna take the longer shot on the 10. He doesn't have much of a choice. You don't want to get cute and end up missing or sacrificing the ball by trying to come all the way around the table 3 rails.
Yes, I think
Mike
that's
DeMarco, what's up, brother? Good to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in. Right here, steady fundamentals. Look how he stays down perfectly on the shot.
whoa,
See that?
perfect,
That was
right?
awesome.
It was amazing. He stood still on the shot.
15 points.
So that's 43 to 42. We have a match, folks. 43 to 42.
I don't know about you, Tony, but I want to decide.
What was that, Luis?
I want a decider. I don't know about you, but I want a decider in the set.
I always want a decider every match. All day, every day.
2 deciders, 3
A
deciders.
tiebreaker, yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. Ooh, that cue ball just barely got past that 1 ball. That was a huge break right there.
But I think he has a cluster right on the left, the 9 with the 4.
Yeah, that's going to be a little tricky. You know, if he can shoot the 1 ball with a little bit of follow and right spin and end up getting an angle, I guess he's looking at the other angle. He could break that up and end up with position on the 3. It's kind of like a straight pull shot when you shoot a ball into a cluster, but you have an insurance shot. He happens to have the 3 in the best position possible to make that happen. So the 2 ways that he can do that is either hit it with follow and, you know, end up hitting the long rail and come out by about 1.5 foot, cut the 2 with a little bit of follow and run into that cluster, or just to lead it by the rail the way he's looking at it, draw it back a bit, shoot the 2 ball and slide it until you run to the 5. And it's really not a bad position, a cluster, because if you shoot the 2 ball and you happen to run into the 5-9,
Okay.
or the 4-9, I can't tell what that is, the 5 or the 4-9. The good thing about that is that you can, if you hit the 4 first, the 9 is going to shoot in the opposite direction, so the 4 will stay by the rail. If you hit the 9 first, then the 4 is just going to stay there. But you have to be careful because the 9 could potentially come off the rail and block the 4 from going in the corner pockets. So these are all the things that I think about when I'm playing straight, when I'm running into a cluster.
So when you're playing 10 ball, Tony, and you get a cluster, you say to yourself, thank God I love straight pull, right? Because I can have all of these scenarios.
Like I said, if he hits a 9 first and doesn't touch a 4 at all, he has to be careful the 9 doesn't stop in front of the 4. But if he hits a 4 first, he's as good as gold. Because the 9 is going to go in the opposite direction unless he hits it too hard and the 4 comes off the rail and stops in front of the 9. But I don't think he's going to do that. Oh. Okay, so now he's in serious trouble here. Mikhail Kim, how are you, buddy? Privyet. I hope you're doing well.
Or do you think he's going to go 2 rails, make the 3, and the second rail try going against the cluster?
He doesn't have much of a choice here. He has to break this. The only other option that I see is just pocket the 3-ball and just smash the balls and hope something will go in, you know?
Yes, it's tough.
See, when I see it's kind of like a low percentage shot like this, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I might just go ahead and just pocket the ball and leave the cue ball, you know, a little higher than it is now, and just hit it hard and hope something goes in.
Yes, and especially here because we're playing 10 ball, but we're playing with 9 ball rules. So
Well, that's why if you have to call the shot, then you have to go for the breakup, you know?
yes,
The thing with this is if you try to break it up and you hit the 4 before the 10, you might go off the 4 and then off the 10 and into the side pocket because of how close it is. Ooh, he got dangerously close, but that was a hell of a shot. You remember I told you if he hits a 4 to 10, he might go in the side pocket. He just barely avoided that scratch. That was awesome. That was a fantastic shot.
oh my God. And do you think he can make the 9 with the 4? He's going to play the combination?
I think he can make the 4. The question is, can he hit the top of the 10 and draw off the 10 to the cushion softly to come, or is it going to go straight to the pocket? See, if it's going to go straight to the pocket, he might just have to just hit it soft and stop the cue ball there and take the slightly tougher shot on the 6-ball. See, if you're worried about a scratch here, you're better off hitting the cue ball instead of with draw, hit it with stun so the cue ball runs into the 10 directly, stop there and take the tougher shot on the 6.
Yes, I think that's better. Making sure you make the 4, leave the cue ball there. I mean, because he could scratch if he gets on the top side of the 10.
Yeah,
scratch on the left side pocket. So
yeah, and worst case scenario, if he wants to shoot the 4 and he's not sure if he's going to hit the 10 solid, if you're going to hit like underneath it, well, the cue ball can come off the 10 and run into the 9, and the 9 will stop it.
okay.
So he has 2 opportunities here to stop the cue ball within that area if he decides to hit it softer. You just have to hit the cue ball like center ball, maybe a little bit of right, helping English.
Okay.
See, normally he would play safe here and leave the cue ball buried on the 9, but you can't do that with this format.
Yes.
Is he looking at the combination? He might be looking at the combination. Maybe he likes that better. I think that's what he's doing. I think he likes a combination better than the other options. So, you know, you always got to shoot what you're comfortable with, you know?
At first, I thought he was going to play the combination. When you told me that the 4 went, I said, oh, great. I mean, it's better. But I don't know. Combinations are always tough. I mean,
Well, he needs to make sure he hits it with enough speed to get the 4 to come back to the other side of the table. Yeah, he did, but he missed the combination, unfortunately.
5 points.
So that's 5 points. So that's 47 for Gorst to Kaçi's 43, and it's Kaçi's break.
that's the same pocket, Tony. The bottom left corner pocket is the pocket that's giving a lot of trouble to Fedor, right? I mean, he's missed 3 shots there, I think, so far.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, yes. So Kaçi's up to break, and again, once again, Fedor is ahead 47 to 43. What a break that was, huh, Luis?
Yes, perfect. Perfect cue ball control. He made 2 balls, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. We have Mesa Ambi in the house. Dominican Republic, how are you, my friend? Gerson Martinez. He's a player from Peru. He's the current Pan American champion. How are you, my friend?
Oh, great to have all these guys. I know Ambi personally from New York. He does a tremendous job with his streams.
So we passed the 700 viewers only on Facebook, Tony. So
That's amazing. 712. It's like you said, you called it. Now over
Yes.
here, you have to be careful. He's gonna need to hit like use drag draw here and a little bit of right. Trying to figure out exactly where he wants to do the cue ball. He might draw a pass in between the side pocket and that object ball. I think that's what he's looking to do. Very nice.
whoa, great shot.
It's like I said, he threads a needle as good as anyone on planet Earth, man. It's like it's very impressive to see.
And do you think, Tony, after Fedor's last rack, he smells blood, like you said with Tyler?
You know, it's possible. You know, yeah. I think it's possible because you know, when most players they focus so hard, but what happens is when they see someone make a mistake and they have a chance to go in for the kill, it's like a lion. When the lions see that the animal's wounded, it's not going to show it mercy. It's going to go. It's going to want that raw meat. You know. So it's like,
Oh,
you gotta have that killer instinct, man. And these guys have it in spades.
no, for sure. These elite players have that instinct for sure. I mean,
See over here, would you like to go 2 rails or would you like to go 1 rail?
2 rails. I go 2 rails to make sure I go towards the 6
Yep.
because I think I need a little angle on the 6 to get position. In the 7. I don't need much angle, so I don't like 1 rail shots because it depends a lot on the speed. I need perfect speed, so I rather rely on 2 or 3 cushions to have a bigger landing edge.
Or if he does decide to go 2 cushions, he definitely has to hit it with like slightly above the center with some right speed, but not too much because you don't want to scratch in the side. But if he's just going to go 1 rail, because a lot of these guys shoot the shot 1 rail because they're very confident with their speed. He's not going to require much spin at all. Just probably like a half tip to a full tip at the most. You need to make sure you hit it above the center of the cue ball to make sure that you give it instant forward momentum to begin with. A lot of people don't realize if you hit it center, you don't end up with instant forward momentum. You end up with a little bit of forward momentum. See, I like that shot. That's my favorite shot. I like coming off that second rail because it guarantees that I'm never frozen or straight.
That's perfect.
See, now he just slides it to the center of the table. And for this shot, you want to hit it either at the center or slightly below the center with a little bit of spin, just so that the cue ball slides out to the center of the table.
Perfect.
Very nice. See, now here, since you're farther away from the ball, in order to get the slide, you have to hit it lower, like in between the center and the bottom with a little bit of right, or you can just roll it and come off the cushion.
He's playing so confident, right? I mean, Kaçi has a lot of confidence, but during this tournament, he's played amazing.
$15 points.
All right, so now Kaçi takes the lead by the score of 58-47, and it is Fedor's break. And we're still on the first set. So this is very exciting. We're still in the first set, and they've been playing for almost an hour.
So probably Federer needs the 15 points right here, right? To make sure they can go to a decider.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, he definitely needs to get 15. He doesn't have much of a choice, Luis.
Yes, he needs
10 is not an option because he broke first, which means that Kachi gets another turn. And then that might be it right there. But all Kachi has to do is make 2 balls and he wins the set. First set. So now it's Kachi's turn to break.
That was brutal, right, Tony? Because he made a ball, he got perfect cue ball control, but he scratched.
Yeah, it's always brutal when a ball just slowly tortures you on its way to the pocket, and you keep saying, "Can I have another ball come here and kick it away?" You know?
No, it was like a horror movie, like in slow motion. Like, oh.
Yeah. How good did he hit that break? That's absolutely phenomenal.
Amazing.
And I mean, he doesn't even have to shoot from it. He could just take ball in hand and make 1 ball, and that's it. He's out. You just need 1, buddy. All right. Good shooting.
First set is over.
And Kachi takes the first match by the score of 60-47. And now, Kachi, it's your turn to break second set.
Yes, guys, remember, we're playing 10 ball but with 9 ball rules, and we're playing alternate break format. So Fedor had the first break on the first set, so now it's Kachi's turn to start the second set.
And once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're having a blast with and being able to experience this with everyone that's tuning in. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. And we look forward to doing this again. Right, Luis?
No, for sure. I mean, it's an honor. And I love that we have a lot of fans watching us on Facebook and YouTube. But we also have a lot of sponsors and professional players watching the match. So that's amazing.
Robert Nadella, how are you, buddy? It's good to hear from you, man. Thorsten Holman is watching. Christina Takach is watching. Welcome. Thorsten, are you still cooking? Yeah. Every time I talk to him, he's cooking. And Jessica Wise, thank you for the comment. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy and safe and your family's healthy. I hope everyone's family is safe and
0
healthy.
points.
We lost quite a number.
So
What was that?
You would have got a
0
scratch.
points.
0 points.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
No problem.
And Luis, what do you have to say about getting the pleasure of working with Margaret this week? I had a blast. She's been very professional, very poised, confident, and very informative, in my opinion.
No, for sure. I mean, for me, this is the first time I'm commentating any type of match in my life. It's been an honor, and I think my first match was with Margaret, and it's great. I mean, she's so famous. People are all like, "Oh, that's Margaret Fefinova," and I mean, they get so excited. She's so nice. I mean, she has great insights from the game, and for me, it was great to have the first match with her. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I believe he made 4 balls on that break, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I think so. 3 or 4 balls.
Nice way to start the second set. And he's definitely playing for 15.
Jessica Wise says, this is a great matchup. Both are playing amazing the whole tournament. Great job, Tony. Jessica Wise.
Yeah, Jessica is awesome. All right, so
15.
Federer is on the board with 15, and he now leads 15-0. And now it's Kaçi's turn to break.
So that was perfect for Federer because he lost the first set and starting the second set with Kaçi having a scratch and him making 15 points. So that's like a confidence booster, right?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you need to pump yourself up a bit, you know? So I think he might have to take ball in hand here, guys.
Yes, I think so too.
David Arcaive is in the house too. ¿Cómo estás, amigo?
That's how Alvin Ocean calls him, amigo.
You know, it's interesting. This is an interesting rack. It's like you have like kind of like almost like a circle, the way the
Yes.
balls align, right?
Looks like a drill, right?
Yeah, it looks like a drill. So yeah, I think over here, he just needs to go to the center of the table. Hit this ball with high left. Come off one rail. Okay, so he went 2 rails. Okay, so I guess he had more angle than what I thought. It's tough to tell these angles from these camera angles, right, Luis?
Yes, it's tough. Not only the angle of the camera, but players have different type of pool balls. And also, I think every player has a different style. Some players love moving the cue ball around. Other players like playing simple. So it's tough.
Alberto Estevez, how are you, buddy? Alberto Estevez is Mesa Andy's brother. And they've been sponsoring Clenty for many matches and tournaments since he came to the States. So they've done a tremendous job with him. They're very good friends. Good to
Yes,
hear
I
from
mean,
you, buddy. I hope the family's doing well.
he's a great guy. So,
Right, so over here, I think what he wants to do is hit this with high left and either go 1 or 2 rails, depending on the angle that he has. If I had the angle, I would prefer to go 2 rails, so that way I end up with an angle on the 10 ball. I mean, on the 8 ball, sorry. Yep. Come off the second cushion.
perfect.
Speed is just spot on. It's just spot on.
Yes, it's amazing. As I said with Alberto Delgado, he has like perfect ball in hand speed. Ball in hand speed is like you leave the cue ball and when you put it, you have ball in hand. He plays like that. Every shot, he gets ball in hand speed. It's amazing.
All right, so he's shooting the 10 ball for the 10 points. All right,
10 points.
15-10. Now Federer's break.
We have Ariel Castro in the house, the Argentinian champion. Also, Jonas Soto is the current world junior champion. ¿Cómo están? So you see the 10 always goes to the side pocket, right? The 10 moved again to the left side pocket.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that's happened a number of times, huh? Because it can only happen if you get kicked. It must be the spot that he's breaking from. There's always one ball coming off a rail and running into it, right?
Yes.
You know, if that's the case, eventually, yeah, eventually he's going to make it in the side. It's a matter of time. You know, if he makes it on the break, he gets 15 points. But the times that it keeps going there, it's like almost messing him up almost every time too.
Every time it goes to the left side pocket, he gets into another ball, one or two balls. So he gets clusters on the left side of the table. So it's tough.
So over here, he needs to hit the cue ball with a little bit of drawing right. This is a tricky shot. You have to hit it just the right speed. You might want to end up between the 3 and the 9. Yeah, that's exactly what he did, between the 3 and the 9. Now here, depending where he wants to play the 3 will determine whether he's going to go rail first or hit the ball first. I prefer to go rail first here if I can hit it full enough to go rail first and hit the 2 on the thick side, and then hit the bottom rail and then the long rail on the right side to end up in position for the 3 on the side. So
I agree.
you want to hit this with the center left around 9 o'clock. So he decided to go ball first, which is not bad, and he controlled it well.
So Christian Arias just gave us 500 stars. Thank you so much, buddy.
So over here, you want to slide the cue ball, hit it slightly below the center. You can hit it with just center or just a little bit of right to make sure you go away from the 4. But he definitely wants to end up setting up an angle where he either runs into the 5 or the 10 or ends up playing the 5 in the same pocket as a 4, assuming that it goes, that it has access to that pocket. So it all depends.
I think it doesn't go.
Oh, he might be able to make it from there. If he can make it from there, that's even better. He doesn't have to do anything special. Yeah, because if that's the case, he's just going to hit it with high follow and just like a half a tip of left. So that way you just end up going slightly towards that 5 ball.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah, that was beautiful. So here I can't tell if he can hit it full enough to draw it or if he has to follow it. If he has to follow it, he has to be careful not to overhit it because he doesn't want to end up with too much angle on the 60 because then he won't be able to control the cue for the 8.
I think he needs
He has to hit this really slowly. That's it. But he missed the ball. He was trying to throw it in. So he wound up with 5 points. So now he has 20 to Kaçi's 10 and it's Kaçi's break.
tough break. Probably he didn't have enough of the 5 for the hit, or do you think he only missed the shot? I think he didn't have
Yeah,
enough.
it looks like he didn't have enough of the 5 because he spun it. He was trying to throw it in. He hit it with a lot of left.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas Baker, you were asking me if I'm going to be in Florida for Tommy's event. I thought about it long and hard, but with the rules and regulations that you have here in New York, you have to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks and you're not really allowed to go anywhere after that. So I doubt it unless they no longer have that rule by the time the event comes over. But thank you for asking. I'm really praying for Tommy every day. For those of you who don't know Tommy Kennedy, he's a 1992 US Open champion. He's a close friend of mine. We used to room together many years ago when we played full time in the Pro Tour in the 90s. And he's one of the greatest human beings I think ever born. I mean, he's such a great guy. And, he recently was in the hospital and was in pretty bad shape and he's trying to recuperate. So they're going to hold a special event for him at a pool hall called Capone's in Florida.
Okay.
And I wish him the best.
For sure. Hope he recovers. I mean, we send you the best thoughts. I mean, the best energy. We have Miguel Maldonado. Saludos desde Phoenix. Hi from Phoenix. How are you?
Okay, so can you tell if that's a 7 by the side pocket on the left side? Because I honestly can't tell.
Yes, I think that's a 7.
Because if that's the case, then he needs to hit this with low left to get to the center of the table for the 5 and try to get straight on it if possible. So that way all he has to do is shoot a stop shot and get an automatic angle on the 6 ball to come across for the 7.
So Tony, Adam, a fan on Facebook, says that pocket has Federer's number.
Yeah, I
And
know,
yeah,
it's crazy, right?
amazing. And Brandon says Federer's gonna take a sledgehammer to that corner pocket later.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, people are having fun. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The support has been overwhelming. So hit it with slightly below center with right to end up getting a slight angle on the 9 ball.
Perfect.
Come off one cushion and then he's set. And this is for 15 and with a lead of 25-20 for Kachi. Now it's Federer's break.
Ooh.
That was a friendly bumperoni there.
He almost scratched, right? I mean,
Yeah, he got a friendly bumperoni. He got a friendly bumperoni for one of the balls to kick him away from the side pocket. That was huge.
I've never seen a friendly bumperoni on the break, Tony. It was amazing.
Oh, it happens on the break all the time.
So guys, remember to stay tuned after the match. We're gonna do interview to each of the players. We have some special surprises for you guys. We're gonna interview Karim from Predator and David Alcaide from One Sports TV. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got the angle he wanted to there. If he didn't, he might have to go 3 rails here. So, you know, and for those of you watching, you know, when you shoot a shot like this to one ball, you're better off overhitting this a bit because worst case scenario, if you have to shoot the 2 and run into the 9, that's a better option because at least a 9 acts like a stopper, stops the cue ball. But you at the same time, you have to be careful not to overhit and end up behind the 4. So he has a little tricky shot here. Might have to go 3 rails or even draw it 2 rails with drawing between the 4 and the 8s. It's hard to tell.
I think I would go 3 rails with enough speed to make sure if I bump the 4, I move past.
Well, my concern is if you hit it too hard, you could potentially end up behind the 9 if you don't hit the 4, right? Or if you don't hit the 9. Oh, he went 1 or 2 rails. Okay, so even with this slice, he hit that great.
Great.
I mean, that was one hell of a shot right there. What I like about that shot is that he took away any possibility of going behind the 9 because he's coming, you know, below it, you know?
Yeah.
Bumperoni Tony is what my friend is calling me, Mike Bads.
No, people love it, Tony. People are always like, it's a bumper. Oh my
So
God.
be careful here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Huge mistake right there.
So probably he need to hit it harder, right, Tony, to make sure that if he bumped the 9,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what it is? He wanted to leave the cue ball by the center of the table, so when he shot the 5, he can go 2 rails and towards the 8, you know? Because it's a little trickier to play position had he gone 3 rails and shoot the 5 from the other side of the table.
Okay.
But I've always been that kind of player, Luis, that I like to take the route that virtually eliminates any possibility of going behind the ball because you just never know. So that's 6 points. So the score is currently 26-25 in favor of Kachi, and it's Kachi's break.
Lake Mackay says unfriendly Bumperoni on the 9th.
Friendly bumperoni, what? Unfriendly bumperoni, yeah.
Yeah.
I told you about the unfriendly bumperonis, right?
Yes, and people love it. The friendly and down friendly of Bumperonis.
Very nice breaks. Just so powerful and solid, man.
That's the shot on the 1, right?
Honestly, it's so bright, the screen, I can't tell which one is a 1. So if that's it right there, then yeah.
I think so, because most of the time he gets the 1 on the top right corner pocket and the 2 on the bottom left corner pocket. So based on the patterns that he's getting throughout the entire tournament, I would guess that's the 1. Jerry and Frailin Juanito from Venezuela. How are you, my friends?
All right, so he got perfect on the 2. And I'm assuming that's a 3 right next to the 2. If it is, and he's in good shape there, he just has to go back towards the center of the table and get rid of those balls, because the 7, 8, and 10 are together.
Probably the 7 on the top, on the bottom right corner pocket, but on the bottom right corner pocket, right?
What was that, Luis?
That probably he's going to make the 7 on the bottom right corner pocket, then the 8 on the left side pocket, and then the 10 on the bottom right corner pocket.
Yep.
Tony, what do you think about players playing with extensions?
What's that?
What do you think about players that play with a cue with extensions on? That they play with the cue, the playing cue extensions.
I hear it's beneficial. I've never really used it enough for me to be able to make a judgment on it, but I remember Jason Shaw telling me that he absolutely loves it, that it gives you a little less deflection when you're using shooting jacked up shots or elevated shots. And he said he makes him, that's part of the reason why he's so good at the jacked up shots. So I would have to try it in order for me to give an opinion. How about yourself?
Yes, I play with a 4-inch extension, and I remember this topic because Kachi has I believe a 3-inch extension there, and I wanted to hear what you thought about it, because some players love it and some players hate it.
Yeah, some players absolutely love it. Over here, it looks like he's gonna hit it with a little bit of draw. Then come off the rail bit with the 7 to the 8. Obviously, he needs to make sure he ends up with an angle on the 8. So I think he's gonna try to leave the cube. I can't tell if he wants to draw it one rail with low right and come back towards where the 7 is, or if he's gonna go 2 rails, but it looks like he's gonna draw it back to where the 7 is, more or less. Or right before it, right?
Yes.
And then come off one cushion with high right.
Get an angle on the 9 and make the 10, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to end up by the center of the table. Now he just draws back about 2-3 feet and shoot the 10 in the lower left-hand pocket. Or you can just hit it hard. Boom. Man, he hit that so good.
Perfect.
So playing for 15 with his 10 ball, and he takes the lead by the score of 40-26. And it's Federer's break.
I mean, I think Kaçi has been taking advantage of Federer's mistake. He's playing great. I mean, he's playing great.
So I'm not sure. It looks like he cannot see the one ball, so he might have to go for the 10 points here.
Yes, I think he needs to take ball in hand. I don't think he has enough of the one on the left side to get position on the two.
Well, it's important to guarantee the 10 points because it still keeps him in the match. Because since Kaçi broke this set, you know, he gets the last inning and gives him a chance to potentially tie it and go to a decider if need be. Over here, it's, you know, what was that?
I think he thought about jumping it. He had his jumping.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think he needs to leave the cue ball where it was before he took ball in hand in order to play position for the 3, because it's a little tricky to leave it on the opposite side, because it makes it more difficult to go past those balls. See, he came short there. He wanted to go like a foot further to the left side of the table. See, now he's a little straighter here, so he's gonna have to really figure something out here with the speed, because this is more like a speed control shot. See, I kind of like on the one ball, since I have ball in hand, drawing 2 rails, going near that side pocket by where the 6 is, and coming, you know, on the correct side of the 2. See, that's a bad thing about that shot. If you don't hit it perfectly, you're in trouble.
It was too straight, right? You know.
Yeah, well, he couldn't really do anything. He probably had an angle if he might have run into the 4, you know.
Tough. He needed to have perfect speed. He was shooting above the 8.
Yeah.
3 points.
3 points. So he has 29 to Kaçi's 40, and it's Kaçi's break. So yeah, I would say that was a very key part of the match, Luis.
Yes, for sure. I mean, in terms of points, Kaçi needs a good break right here. I think it's a dry break. Dry break, right?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I tell you what, Federer couldn't have asked for that.
Yes. Federer
Because
gets
now that changes everything.
everything.
Oh wow. I cannot tell if he can see that one ball from here. It's a little tricky.
I don't think so.
But even if he can, it's better off taking ball in hand, because he's in the same position if he was, you know, before he got the 3 points last rack. So if he gets a guaranteed 10, he still has a chance to end up getting an opportunity to tie it and take it into a decider if it's necessary, you know.
That's for sure. He needs to keep the pressure on Kaçi, right?
What was that?
He needs to keep the pressure on Kaçi, ensuring the 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, if he runs out here, now you got a 40-39 ball game. You know, the advantage that Kaçi has being at 40 is that he can get 2 10s in a row and win the match.
Yes.
Whereas, you know, Federer would have to get 10 and then 11.
Exactly.
So we have to go for the 15.
Yes. Oh, friendly pepperoni.
That was one hell of a shot there, I tell you that. See, over here, you have to be careful with the 9 ball. Make sure you don't end up behind the 9 ball. You might even be, he might be better off just drawing this 2 rails. If he can hit it thick enough to draw past that 7 ball, the bottom, near the bottom rail, that's probably a better move because he can draw away from the 9 ball. Because if he tries to go between the 7 and the 9, gotta be careful with this. Want to make sure you don't end up behind the 9. I'm gonna hit this with high and a little bit of left. Wow, that's unbelievable. So you see how it's tricky? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he wound up with
points.
3 there. 2, right?
Yeah, because he made the ball with a scratch, so it doesn't count.
Okay. All right, thank you, Margaret. So that's
No problem.
31 to 40. And now it's Kaçi's break.
Tough luck, right?
What was that?
Tough luck. I mean, Federer getting that.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's one of those unfortunate scratches, Luis, that, I mean, you can try all day long to try to scratch there on purpose, and it's very hard to do.
yes, for sure.
Yep, that's awesome. Look at that break.
Mike Bass says pepperoni with cheese, Tony.
That's funny. So over here, you hit the 1 thin, right, Luis? You hit the 1 ball thin with high left to come towards the center of the table for the 2, or maybe even past the center of the table.
Yes. You need to make sure you get a good angle on the 2. So I believe getting on the center of the table, you're for the 2, right?
Mm-hmm. He went past the center of the table because he wanted to get a fuller hit on the 2 ball.
So guys, remember after the match, we have a lot of special things for you guys. We're gonna have an interview with Karim, the president of Predator, and also with David Alcaide from One Sports TV. So to stay tuned.
So this is going to be a little tricky here, right?
Yeah.
I can't tell if he's going to hit it with follow here and try to get past that ball, or if he's going to try to, you know, slide it or draw it past the ball that's closest to the ball that he's shooting.
I think I would draw it.
Yeah, draw. I think draw is a safer option because even if you leave it at the by the center of the table, you end up with a slightly tougher shot on the floor, but it's better than ending up, you know, with a much tougher one if you run into, you know, one or the other.
Yes, I agree. So you can feel the pressure, right, Tony? I mean, Kaçi's taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
So both players are feeling the pressure of the final and of the format, right?
Yeah. No, that was awesome right there. I really like that shot. What I liked about that shot is he hit that ball with so much follow, but hit it hard so that the cue ball will stay in the tangent line a longer period of time and get past the ball that was by the top rail. He hit that great.
Exactly.
You know, I love Kaçi's game so much. I love Federer's game so much too. They're both such great players. But there was this one time I played in one of the WPS tournaments where I played against Kachi and he beat me 11-1.
Whoa.
And I told him that there's only been maybe 4 times in my career where I played a match that I lost badly, but I actually enjoyed it because how perfectly played it was. And that was one of those matches right there. I mean, it was like, it didn't matter who he played. Anyone on planet Earth that played in that match where he played against me would have lost by the same score.
Whoa. That's a great story.
It's such a pleasure to watch great pool, you know?
Yes, I think some pool psychologists call it the pleasure of watching the small motions of pool.
Mhm. So he's playing for 15 here, Luis.
This is going to make a huge difference.
All right, so we have a score of 55-31 in favor of Kachi, and it's Fedor's turn to break.
So Federer needs 15 points, and to play, Kachi gets a scratch or a tie break, right? To make sure we go to a decider.
Mm-hmm. Very nice break. On
Perfect.
command, right, Luis?
Whoa.
But you notice how almost every time he stops the cue ball there, a ball ends up right in front of the cue ball. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, that was exactly what I was thinking. Like, oh, he has a shot on the one, and then went like, no. I got in front of the goal. It's tough. He needs to go for the jump. I mean, he needs 15 points, guys. Oh,
Oops.
so tough.
Yeah. He knew he needed to get the 15 there.
1 point.
So he gets 1 point. So score is 55-32.
So now Kachi only needs 5 points, right, to win the match.
Yeah, because even if Federer got another turn, he can't win from there. And once again, I would like to invite everyone to stick around after the match. Because we're gonna have some special guests, Karim and David Alcaide from Predator and One Sports TV, do the presentations to the winner.
It's going to be great, guys. Stay tuned. Trust me.
So all he needs is 3, correct?
Yes. Only 3 balls. To get 60, he would win the second set, and he will win the match. So let's see.
Is he trying to shoot that off the ball near the side or a combo?
think
It's hard to tell from here.
I think so.
Yeah,
Whoa.
nice shot. You know why he did that, right? He did that because the 4 is in a horrible position.
Yes.
So he figured if he shot the 1-7 combination, took ball in the hand, all he has to do is get position on the 1 and shoot the 2, and he wins the match. That was very smart.
Very smart. Yes.
The last ball.
Yep. All right, congratulations. Congratulations to Eklent KAÇI. He's the first ever Predator One Pool 10-ball champion. Congratulations, Eklent. And you're welcome. Congratulations to Fedor and for putting up such a great performance. Let's
Thank
go
you.
to Fedor first. Fedor,
Yeah.
I know you played such an incredible tournament. You broke great and played great the entire match, but it seems that you had a lot of rolls go bad in this match. When you made the ball in the break and stopped the cube on the center, you always had a ball stop in front of the 1 ball, so you couldn't quite, always go for the run out. And then there were 4 balls that you missed on that lower left-hand pocket, which I think you're probably going to break after this, right? So
Yeah.
that kind of stopped you from keeping the match close.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This pocket got me, but I just also the break. Yeah, I had few rolls, but I was missing balls. I didn't play good today, so I deserve to lose in this match. But I'm just trying to have fun and to enjoy it. It's first online tournament, and I enjoyed playing here.
Good. I'm really happy to hear that you enjoyed it, because what do you think of the format? Would you do it again?
Yeah, probably yes. It's better than
Okay.
nothing for sure, and it's better to play this than just practice. There's nothing going on in the world right now, so
Yeah.
I think it's
kind
better
of
than
sad, but
yeah.
well, it's always great watching you play, buddy. Hopefully we'll see. I see Maxim practicing back there. Tell him I said hi, and we hope to see him in the next tournament as well.
Привет.
All right.
Yes.
So good luck to you, buddy. Thank you, and stay tuned. All right, and let's go to KAÇI. KAÇI, congratulations on winning the tournament. You
Congrats,
played
KAÇI.
ridiculously. You played a absolutely great pool, and you broke like a beast in the final. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing breaking good. I was pissed a little bit because bad rolls with the break when I scratched a couple of times. But I played quite.
What does it mean for you to win this, the first online tournament, pro tournament in the world?
I mean, to be honest, I've missed playing and competing. We're not used to staying a couple of months without full tournament. So yeah, it was kind of fun, and yeah, happy to win the first Predator, let's say, online tournament.
Well, yes. So I appreciate you guys very much, and I thank you both for participating in the tournament. We definitely look forward to doing this again. And now I'm going to present to you Karim and David, to all the viewers there. Karim, welcome to the stream, and David, amigo, he has the awards that he would like to present the winner.
How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're having a blast here with Luis and Margaret all week long, doing commentary for these spectacular matches, and we're having a ball, and we can't thank you enough for putting this together for the players. I appreciate you guys very much, and I thank you both for participating in the tournament. We definitely look forward to doing this again. And now I'm going to present to you Karim and David, to all the viewers there. Karim, welcome to the stream, and David, amigo.
Hello, ¿cómo estáis? Muy bien.
Hey, David.
So, David, what do you think overall? And Karim, what do you think? Let's start with Karim. Karim, what do you think overall about everything you saw this week?
That was an awesome tournament. Even my daughters were here watching today. Now they're at the beach. It's Lina's, my oldest 7-year-old's birthday today. But they've been watching with me the tournament this week, as I've been working from home, and they loved it. I loved it. It was fun to watch the guys playing again, the gals too. And it was fantastic. It was fun to see so many countries connected via the World Wide Web to challenge each other. I love watching Fedor play, Albin, Jeff, Kaçi. So you know, it was fun.
All right, great.
Thank
And
you,
David,
Karim.
David, you have anything to say about your experience with this tournament, buddy?
Bueno, primero, sorry, I speak in Spanish.
Mhm.
Primero, dar las gracias a todos los aficionados por estar con nosotros en este maravilloso evento. Segundo, quiero daros las gracias a todos vosotros, a todos los comentaristas que habéis estado con nosotros haciéndonos este sueño una realidad y ayudándonos. Después también quiero dar las gracias a todo el equipo de One Sport porque se ha trabajado muy duro. Y también agradecer a todos los patrocinadores, lógicamente.
All right, so what David basically said is he wants to give a special thanks to everyone involved in this event and for all the hard work that was put in with the commentators and everyone behind the scenes and the sponsors, and that he really appreciates the support that everyone's given this this event. So thank you, David, for your hard work. Muchas gracias, amigo. Te lo agradecemos muchísimo. And Karim, I have a couple of questions for you. What do you think about one pool, Karim? The format?
Well, I love the format. The guys came to me and pitched me the concept maybe 2 months ago, 8 weeks ago. So we didn't have too much time to put the event together. And, you know, I always try to, the last 25 years, I've been trying to figure out a way to get players to play against each other without leaving their room or their home or their pool room, their whatever training center. And I love the guys, the attitude. They're so passionate about it. And I say, okay, it's a great idea. Now is the best time. There's no tournaments going on. So that was exciting. And one of the things I loved about one pool, and that's what I told every one of the Predator players I called to come join the event, because some of them were skeptical. What do you mean, Karim, we're going to play over the internet? Yes, we will. You will. And they said, well, okay, we'll give it a shot. If you believe, do you really believe it's going to work? I think it's a great opportunity. Let's try it. Great team, so let's try it. And but the one thing that we're challenged on, Tony, and you and I talked about that part of the sport for the last 20 years many times, is sportsmanship, fair play, ethics.
Yes.
Where players, the main referees themselves at the table, right? And how much class a player has to have, mostly in pool, even more than other sports. And the exhibition of that sportsmanship during this event was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so many players are so classy. Even yesterday, when Tyler Steyer lost to Fedor in the semifinal, he was very, very classy about it, and you know, said that Fedor deserves to win, and he played great, and he wished him the best of luck. I thought that was very nice on his part. So, yeah, and so the other question I had for you, Karim, is what can you tell us about the future of the World Billiard Series?
So just one more thing I want to add before we talk about the World Billiard Series, because I watched some of the commentaries in the chat room, and I'd like to remind everyone that innovation starts with ideas, but you cannot innovate unless you make mistakes, right? And mistakes are part of being better. I tell my management team and my players all the time, if you don't make mistakes, that means you're not trying, you're not taking enough risk. And the guys at One Pool, at One Sports TV, this event was not perfect. In my eyes, it was amazing. But, you know, I designed businesses, I started so many projects that failed before some succeeded, that I understand that is normal. So I want to give the team at One Sport TV kudos. I want to give a big thank to all the fans that supported the event, because they're going to change. It's going to evolve. It's going to get better and better event after event. I think what we're looking at doing over the next few months is most likely have one pool event per month. I'm looking at, I think Margaret and Jasmine were interested in supporting a women's event that we'll be putting on very soon, a Japan event, a US-based event. We're going to partner with leagues. So we have a lot of cool projects with one pool. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Would you consider a straight pool event?
I would consider a straight pool. Actually, this format is perfect for straight pool.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to let you play, Tony. You're too good at
Come on.
I don't know.
That's not true. Kachi won the straight pool event in his first try. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And the one thing I like also about this is seeing Torsten, seeing Fedor, Jeff. I mean, Jeff's main sponsor is a good friend of mine, Kazunori Miki and Mez. Seeing them represented, seeing the guys at QTech who also invest in a lot of players. So not so many companies invest in players. It's nice to see them represented. And I was really proud to see people like Fedor wearing the colors of their sponsor. That's important.
Yeah.
They support the industry.
Yeah, it's important
the industry
for overall
needs to
growth.
work together to support the game. Some of my best friends are David's sponsors, Longoni. I mean, they're almost cousins there. We're neighbors, let's say. French and Moroccans, Italians. So a lot of cool things coming up, and hopefully we'll see a lot of more of the industry behind one sports TV. Your last question was about the World Billiard Series. Well, I'm planning to launch a world tour in partnership with many friends in Europe, in Asia, in Americas. One Sports TV will be part of the World Billiard Series. Next year, where Predator is putting together in partnership with other companies in billiards, the World 10 Ball Championship men in Vegas again, the Women World 10 Ball Championship in Austria in partnership with the Oceans. We have a new event that's a little special. I don't want to talk too much about it, so I'll mention that in a few months. The World 8 Ball Championships. We're looking at growing straight pool in the US just for you, Tony.
That's awesome.
And the World 10 Ball Tour. Now, the World 10 Ball Tour is scary because I see how Albin was breaking Jeff, Fedor, and Kaçi. We need to stop making such great breakthroughs. I mean, these guys are too good. Scary.
Yeah, they break
a
like
lot of cool stuff is coming up. Matchroom is going to be putting up more events. So we're talking to all the promoters around the world. And next year is going to be a huge year for pool. This year, with one sports TV, we'll be able to get ready, keep the juices going.
Well, I mean,
Fedor,
I can't thank you and David and Alberto and everyone else involved enough for being innovative and coming up with this, because I think this was really a relief and a treat for everyone, knowing that the world is struggling with every sport. So being able to see something like this instead of just watching YouTube matches of where you know who the winner is, this has definitely been a treat for everyone. I think important for the game in the long run. Luis, do you have a question for David?
I'm going to ask it in Spanish. Hola, David, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, amigo. Escucho muy mal.
¿Me escuchas?
Ahora.
Ajá. David, una pregunta. ¿Qué nos puedes decir del futuro en términos de eventos? ¿Qué viene ahora en adelante con Sports TV?
Bueno, tenemos firmado 2 torneos con la Unión Mundial de Carambola. Mañana haremos oficial el cartel, en el cual en agosto tendremos el segundo MB One Carom Challenge y en septiembre tenemos otro. Tal como también ha dicho Karim, tenemos muchos proyectos para poner fecha solo con un torneo de mujeres en Japón y muchísimas ideas que tenemos, que estamos trabajando en ello.
Muy bueno. I'm going to translate. So, I asked David, what can you tell us about the future of Sports TV event? And he told us that we have great news, not only on pool events, but 3 cushion events. We're going to have a 3 cushion challenge, and we're also going to have great events in hand with Predator, women in Japan, probably a World Cup. I don't know, but it's not great, guys. I mean, for me, it's been a pleasure. And I can tell you from the Latin American side, we love this tournament. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it was.
So Karim, I know you pretty much answered the question about future online events. That was going to be my next question, but you already addressed that. So I wanted to thank you both, Karim, David, for the tremendous work. Congratulations again to the players. And David, I know you want to present the trophy. David has a special trophy that they made for Plenty.
El trofeo queremos agradecer también a uno de nuestros patrocinadores, mi pequeña
Why
fábrica.
didn't you tell us before? Hey, guys.
Bueno, Kachi,
That was motivation, right?
Kachi, ¿estás preparado para recibir el trofeo?
Kachi, are you ready to take the
Yeah.
trophy?
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple of days, I guess.
Okay, go.
Clancy, just put your arms out like you're grabbing it. There you go.
It looks like it fits good at home, actually.
Ya te ha llegado, Kachi.
So, Kachi,
He said you'll get it soon, buddy.
Hey, Tony.
Well,
please
once
tell
again,
Kachi-
thank you to everyone.
Tony, one
Yes.
thing that the trophy is very special. It's one of a kind. They printed it in 3D just for this event, designed it just for this tournament. So, Kachi, este trofeo es muy, muy, muy especial. It's one made, right? David, we made only one, right? In 3D like that?
Yeah. Yes.
Just for Kachi now. Fedor, don't worry. We're going to have another event. We just need you guys support. Fedor.
I will.
Eklent, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for
so
watching the
much.
show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
David.
trusting us with your time, joining the event, and all the pros that joined. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. You took a bet on us, and we're gonna make the next one even more exciting.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, everyone. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
each and every single one of you. Thanks for participating. Thanks for making this happen. Thank you to all the viewers and everyone online who tuned in. We really appreciate your support. Luis, thank you. Margaret, thank you. You know, Alberto Garcia, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, everyone that was involved, David Alcaide. It's just, this has been overwhelming and something that the pool world really needed. So thank you very much for everything. And we look forward to seeing everyone soon. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.
Thanks, Tony. You too. Stay
Bye,
safe.
guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you guys for the great.
Well, that's to the spice of this.